Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Motivation, the show that helps you align your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. Over the last 8 weeks, we have been diving into a series called the MPH, and we've dealt with the M, which are the 4 methods, and the P, which are the 4 pillars that bind the MPH together. So what are those methods and what are those pillars? I hope you are implementing it. I hope that you are working on it. I hope that you are using it. And I hope that it is changing your life. All the details are on our screen and our YouTube links are there. So I want you to go back, to remind yourself, to take notes. And for those who haven't seen it, let's learn it. Let's implement it. I hope that you are using the gunpowder method to empty yourself and get rid of all of the baggage that's sitting within us. I hope that you are using the water bottle method to be able to regulate your emotions, to be able to understand what it is when you use the wrong emotion or when you use the correct emotion. I hope that you are sitting in system 2, making sure that system 1 does not overtake your mind, and that you are out of survival mode so that you can conserve your water, you can conserve your energy, and you have the energy to move on further in life. I hope that you are realizing that the tongue is the pen to the universe, and your words are the ink. So you are careful with the words that you say, whether it is about yourself or about another individual, whether it is to yourself or to another individual. We need to be careful because what comes out comes right back to us. And then we moved on to the pillars of intention. And I hope that you are using patience to build your intention, and gratitude to appreciate your intention, and certainty to know that what was meant to be will be. And most importantly, sincerity within ourselves to be able to make those intentions. So go back into our episodes and remind yourself, because reminders are amazing and reminders are wonderful and we can implement it in our lives. But on today's episode, I want to start with the H. And the H in MPH stands for habits. And what are habits? What does it mean to have habits? I often make this joke to say that motivation means absolutely nothing. The reality is a little bit of motivation every single day will give you consistency. And a little bit of consistency every single week will create discipline. And a lot of discipline over months will create your habits. And those habits put together over years creates your character. And that is the most important part and aspect of an individual. What is your character? Who are you? And if our habits are the foundation of our character, then how important is it that we understand our habits, why we do what we do when we do it? And that's the reality. How many of us actually understand it? There is an author by the name of Charles Duhigg who wrote a book called The Power of Habits. And in it, he states that our habits are based on triggers that we have in our life that will give us a specific outcome. So when we have the trigger, we perform the habit and it gives us the outcome. But how many of us are aware of our triggers, as we spoke about the gunpowder? How many of us are aware of our triggers? How many of us understand what it is that triggers us to be able to do the habits that we do without even thinking about it, so that we get the reward or the so-called dopamine rush that we want based on the habits that we create? So habits shape us as individuals, and it is absolutely important for us to make sure that we are aware of the habits that we have so that we can develop the best character. There was a poem written in the 1800s that stated, "For want of a horseshoe nail, the horseshoe was lost. For want of a horseshoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the battle was lost. And for want of a battle, the kingdom was lost. All for the want of a horseshoe nail." And this poem leads me to our first habit, a habit coined by Chaos's theory in science, known as the butterfly effect. And what is the butterfly effect? The butterfly effect states that if a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon jungle, the little wind that sits underneath the wings of that butterfly creates a hurricane on the other end of the world. So something so small, like a horseshoe nail, can cost you your entire kingdom, because we did not think that a small moment of our life can create something so big. So I want you to sit back and internalize. Ask yourself, what was that moment that triggered off this chain reaction that created something massive in your life, be it positive or be it negative? Ask yourself, what was your moment? What was your butterfly effect? And let me explain it to you in terms that we all can resonate with. 4,000 years ago, a man and his son laid a brick in the barren deserts of Arabia to build a building that today we know as the Kaaba. Had that brick not been laid, we would not have a place to face when we are worshiping. Had that brick not been laid, would we be doing what we are doing today when we visit Saudi Arabia and we make tawaf around the Kaaba? But at that time, did Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail know the impact of just laying that brick? And that is the butterfly effect. One small moment that shapes all of mankind. And as we dealt with in our intentions, if you have the certainty that that small moment is being done for a good cause, it will go up to Allah. And Allah will take it. And He will sponsor it. And when He sponsors it, there is absolutely no one that could stop it. So understand that every moment, everything that we do, every small thing that we wake up and think about and put into action can have massive consequences, not just in our lives, but in the world in general. So every morning when you wake up, ask yourself, what will my butterfly effect be today? And you need a little bit of motivation to get you going. But do it over time and it becomes consistency. And push it beyond that. It will become your discipline. And that discipline will become a habit. You will do it without even thinking about it, because it's so habitual inside of you to be able to do this. And then that habit becomes your character. And that character can shape the world going forward. But you need to understand that it's those small little things that are going to become massive. So choose it wisely, because it was the mere wrong turning of a car that started World War I, which led into World War II, which led into the Cold War, which made America the superpowers that they are today. And I don't need to tell you any further the chaos that was caused because of the mere wrong turning of a car. So ask yourself, how important is it to think positively, to put out good efforts out there, to be able to look at the next individual and say kind words, because that can have massive consequences going forward. That can shape your life, those around you, your world around you. And we are always looking to become better Muslims. How do we become better Muslims if we do not look at the little moments in our life? The ability to concentrate in our salah, the ability to create the right intention, the ability to align our head, our heart, and our hand, so that our minds, our words, our intentions, our actions are all in alignment with each other. That is where we need to look at, because it's those small things that no one but Allah can see that will shape your world. It's those small things that if you as an individual understand, you will know how massive it can become. Because for want of a horseshoe nail, an entire kingdom was lost. So ask yourself, what is your wants? What do you want? And does it have an impact in your life? Yes, it does. Will it change everything around your life? Yes, it will. We cannot belittle any action, because every single action we will be accountable for, even if it is a mustard seed of an action. So make sure that that mustard seed is a good action, because when that butterfly flaps its wings, it will create a hurricane on the other end of the world. This is motivation, and let me motivate you.